Alright guys, Dokkan time again, and today we're going to be doing a how to build for Omega Shenron. Now I know I'm a little bit late, usually I have this on the day of release, not the day after, I apologize. But let's just kind of jump right in, get to the point. So GT bosses, key plus 3, 200, he's 200% carnival unit. He raises defense on 12 key, lowers the enemy's attack, and he has a 50% chance to stun on his 12 as well. He has a lowering attack and defense on his 18 key, and then he seals with his 18 key and greatly raises defense for one turn. So without looking at the rest of his kit, I mean, we all know that Omega's a little he's a little but at the very least, look at all the utility he has for any other kind of event that isn't like a specific, like the hardest challenge in the game. Like if we go look down at his categories, unlike the other set of Shadow Dragons, he actually has this decent set of actual like categories. He's got powerful comeback, he's got transformation boost and human deeds, power absorption, full power, Shadow Dragons, GT bosses. All of these teams kind of need a little bit of help. I mean, not powerful comeback or Battle of Fate, but literally the rest of them all do need a little bit of help all around. So, I mean, in challenges in the game that require, that can be used for lowering attack, for stunning, for sealing, this dude will be very, very handy. He will be very good. So, just to go with a positive mindset if you did go for him, or if you did pull him, or if you got lucky on a single or one multi, you know. Anyways, so, passive skill. He does have an entrance animation. It goes off no matter what. It doesn't have any restrictions. It does give intelligence key spheres to rainbow key spheres for 7 turns from the entry turn. So for 7 turns from the entry turn. So that means if he pops up turn 1, it'll go until turn 7, and then after turn 7, it'll be gone. If he pops in on turn 2, it'll be up until turn 8. If he's accidentally in slot 7 and appears on turn 3, it won't end until the 10th turn. Which is very good. You know, that's pretty much the entire fight that he's Rainbow Orb changing. He does also lower enemies' attack and defense by 25%, which is crazy. You don't probably think that's very good, but the thing is, a lot of challenging fights actually do give you the ability to lower attack or defense in that first phase, which can be very helpful. Key plus 3, attack and defense 200, plus an additional attack plus 20 up to 150. Key plus 1 and reduces damage received by 5% per GT boss's category ally on the team. So if you have a full team, because it doesn't count himself, it'll be 25% boost. So plus an additional damage reduction of 7% per rainbow key sphere obtained. So that means you want to try to at least get 3 to 4 rainbow key spheres if possible. More than likely, you're going to average on 2 to 3. So you'll probably sitting somewhere around the 14 to 21% damage reduction. If he does count as his own GT boss and he can have 30%, I honestly don't know at the current time. But if that is the case, then that means he could be averaging about a 30% damage reduction, which honestly isn't a bad thing. I mean, it's pretty decent to have that damage reduction in there, and that'll be honestly a little bit key to what his defense numbers are going to be, which, to be honest, his defense is not the most amazing in the world, but that damage reduction is supposed to make up for it. There's a lot of units in the game that do take advantage of that sort of thing. So let me get this damage. There we go. Calvary calculations. So now he wants to make sure that everybody notices here that this is calculations done with full defense equipped. So probably like a 5, 6, level 7 defense equip in bronze, like 4, maybe 3, 400 defense equip in the gold slot. And then this is Metal Rildo along with the Intelligence Shadow Dragon support, which is like a 90% support right there. So this is really wanked. Like, this is really, really wanked. So with that in mind, with that in mind, his start turn defense will be about 400. A normal 12 key would be about 500. And then post 18 key, if he double supers, would be around the almost 800 range. Now, that wouldn't be too bad if it wasn't for the fact that this is a rainbow status point. If it's 55%, you can expect to be in the 200 range or 300 range. And then after double super, if you manage to get a double super, you could maybe perhaps be up into the 6, almost 700 range. Post revive, he does get... I thought he got a little bit of boost. Oh yeah, that's right, because he gets the ability to double super at that point guaranteed. So at that point, that's pretty fantastic. He could triple super at that point and hit almost 930, which is great. With the 90% support on rotation, he gets up into the million, which is great. That's an ideal situation that you want, but it's just not likely that it'll happen, and we need some better GT support. I would say you're going to average, if on a 55%, you'll probably be in the 230, 300k range with a proper tech or Shadow Dragon Army LR next to him. Yeah, he's not going to look that impressive. If you have 55% for this guy, I highly suggest that you just kind of stick to straight up using the GT Bosses team and on a category boosted kind of event. Don't be taking this guy into, well, Shadow Dragons. Don't take him into Zamasu, because he's not going to do much there. It's not that he couldn't. He could. But it's just very unlikely. Let's see here. What else does he have? Does he have anything else, or did we go over everything? If HP is 50% or less at the start of character's second turn, revive with 70% HP recovered when the character or an ally attacking is KO'd. That's freaking fantastic that an ally can get killed and he'll still revive. One thing to keep in mind with this, you can only revive once. That is it. You get one revive. So if you bring any other units that have revive, if this guy gets his revive off, they can't. So just be very wary of reviving units, because there's only room for one. Attacks effective against all types and launches an additional super starting from the turn in which the character revival skill is activated. Now, okay, the active skill is greatly raised, temporarily causes ultimate damage, blah blah blah, disables the enemy's action, lowers attack and defense. You can activate this when the enemy's in attack or defense status lowering and from the third turn, or starting from the sixth turn from the battle. So he doesn't have any crit. He doesn't have any dodge. He has built-in additional after he revives, more like if he revives. So it really depends on your hidden potential. Personally, this guy doesn't have enough defense to really survive. He's here for the utility. He's here to be a little bit of a tank. So my first thought process is just go straight up additional. Try your best to get as much additional into him as possible. If he's 55%, he starts off with 5 additional. Give him another 5 and a 2. You'll get him up to 12 additional. That's a 24% chance to additional. It's not bad. When the revive goes off, that'll feel much better than it actually is with that additional built in after he revives. A lot of people would say probably go for dodge. I don't personally see a reason to. I mean, if I had a fully rainbowed Omega, perhaps I would think about a full dodge. Maybe just even a 3 dodge. I mean, if you have him on his ideal situation, full GT bosses, blah blah blah, get 3 to 4 rainbow key spheres, then yeah, he's gonna have so much damage reduction that he doesn't need to dodge. So it just really depends on how you want to build him at that point. He can do a little bit of damage after he revives, and he's getting additional supers. He's got the support. He's on this 200% team. He could probably hit up really high up there on the attack numbers. He doesn't have any built-in crit. Now remember, crit is not attacks effective against all types. Attacks effective against all types is only, what was it, a 1 point... I think it was only a 1.5 modifier, whereas a critical is a 1.9 plus ignoring defense. So you got to really realize that a crit ignores everything and does more damage. Whereas attacks effective against all types is just, okay, I'm just type advantage. That's basically all attacks effective against all types is. It's just basically type advantage with a little bit higher of an attack multiplier. It doesn't do a lot of damage. So if you're going to look at this guy as a pure tank, then my highest suggestion would be just straight up go additional. Make sure he gets those additionals in there. You know, perhaps lowering the attack of the enemy. And then put the rest in dodge so that he can just tank away. Or, if you want to be aggressive, you can go ahead just give him like a 3 dodge. And then go full additional and go into crit. No matter what, though, I would say his primary asset should be additional to build up his defense even higher. That's what my personal opinion is. But I have a feeling a large amount of people are just going to kind of go all over the place. You're going to give him a little bit of crit. You're going to give him a little bit of additional. You're going to get a little bit of dodge. Or, more than likely, truth advocates are going to be like, nah, just full dodge, bro. So, whatever you decide to do, though, I'm just here to give you an opinion and maybe an idea of how you want to build this unit, if you even summon for him. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good day and a good night.